Welcome to Why They Play the Game, a show designed to highlight, discuss, and critique the NBA on and off the court. I'm just one of your co-hosts, Michael Eric Owens.
And I'm Ken Hayes.
Man, Ken, Summer League has started, my brother.
Yeah, so you got a lot of guys out there trying to make the teams, trying to be, get those contracts. So it's competitive and what you should be.
Man, folks, listen, we about to get into this Summer League. Before we do that, we want you to download, like, and share and comment on this podcast. We love hearing from you, and we're looking at different ways to bring you even more content. So be looking out for that in the future. But like Ken said, man, these guys are trying to make the team. But Ken, I'm going to say this starting off. Man, I'm not impressed with the talent.
No, I'm not. And the thing about it, a lot of them are freshmen who came out, and some of them are, I'll say this and tell me if I'm right, wrong, or indifferent about it, is that the basketball IQ from these college players is, if I had to give it a grade, it's like a D minus.
Yeah. I'm
sorry. You might can hit some threes and, dunk it, but basketball IQ is bad. It's terrible.
So, Ken, do you think first of all, we have so many players that are one and done, right? So
right.
We're talking high school, 1 year college, played a whole bunch of AAU ball. That's a whole nother conversation that we want to one day get deep into, and we will. But I just think you see guys, they just haven't played a lot of basketball, and they haven't been in systems where it's going to prepare them for the NBA, Ken?
I can't disagree with you, Mike. The thing about it is a lot of these players, they're not used to, as far as coming in to somebody else's system, recognizing what it is, and then just trying to be functional in it. They just, let's shoot this three. Let's shoot this three. That's about it. I'm a stand out on this baseline or this 3-point line and just shoot threes and maybe take it to the basket. So no intermediate game whatsoever. It's kind of sad though, but it is what it is. That's what the game is kind of, come to right now.
Yeah. I have been unimpressed, just like you can, with the level of talent. And as you say, even with the basketball IQ, man, some of the turnovers, some of the things that are happening, and people say, well, they never played together. But hold on, man. Ken.
Let me stop you, Mike. I'm sorry. Man, remember we used to go to the park and just say, hey, I got you, and you. Come on, let's hit it. Man, hey, come on.
And run it all right. Afternoon long. Thank you. Hey, Ken, we didn't even know some of the dudes' names we played with.
Right.
We just
exactly.
So no, go ahead, Ken.
It's right. I don't care if you haven't played, with this person or that person, but this is basketball. You try your best way to get it into the basket. These cats, it's just funny how, like you said, with the AAU, they playing all these games, after their high school is over or before high school, the season starts, and it's just like they're deer in headlights when when it comes to summer league is concerned. So a lot of them will sit on the bench, and a lot of them will not even make it. So it's just that.
And I'm not, we're not here trying to be hateful on anyone's game. Again, honest critique. Looking at the talent level, Ken, I have to say, I'm bored, man. I'm watching it and I'm just like, really? I don't see, a lot of them will never make it to the next level. And but the ones that do, we have to talk about Victor Wembanyama. Yes, let's talk about Victor.
The
And
second coming.
the second coming. Oh yeah, he man, they said that was only the second time that the summer league game has been sold out, and the first time was with Zion. Okay, it's been sold out. Wasn't even sold out when LeBron was there, but sold out for this young man. And Ken, when people were talking about it, we were talking about it on this show. We were trying to be rational and also trying to speak cautiously about this young man coming to the NBA. And Ken, from me watching him play, and I YouTubed him, watched his games, looked at his, and I thought when I first saw him, my first impression, Ken, was, man, wow, here's a 7 foot, 5 dude with his shoes on, laced up, 8 foot wingspan. This cat is nice. He got a nice game. And I think he come to the NBA. Oh, he got a nice game in time. Ken, when I started hearing like San Antonio gonna make the playoffs, and San Antonio, he the best thing, maybe even better than LeBron when he came out. I was like, hold on, man. I ain't seen this dude play, because the dude I'm seeing is playing in a French league. I ain't got listen, I'm not hating on the French league, but the French league is the French league for a reason. It's not the NBA. And so when you come to the NBA, man, the speed of the game was just too much for him, Ken. Too much. The physicality, and I'm saying, you do know this is a summer league. Like, this is not against the big boys. And his win, I mean, he even talked about, I was reading an article, ESPN this morning, where he was talking about how he was just so tired. And he said that he's got to learn, how to move on the court, and how that ain't the number one pick. That's why I was saying all along, Scoot Henderson, but we're going to get to Scoot. We're going to get to Scoot. But all along I was saying, that's that dude in that draft. And I'll tell you why when we get to him. But Ken, what was your impressions of Wemby?
When he shot, I think it was 2 for 15, 3 for 15, something like that.
Yeah,
8 rebounds and 5 blocks. I just don't see him making let's just say, a major impact for San Antonio. To me, from the looks of it, he's probably more of I won't say a role player. That's not the best word for him, but I just don't see him being the leader and the star of San Antonio. That's, on the defensive end, he's going to be a presence as far as, shot blocking and things like that, and rebounding. But on the offensive end, I just think that it's going to take him some time to get his spots, to develop, just a rhythm. I don't see him with a great rhythm as far as his offensive game is concerned. San Antonio making the playoffs, they're not going to even make the play-in. So I just, that's just not, to me, that's just not going to happen. If it happens, I'll admit I'm wrong, but I just don't see that happening for San Antonio. I think probably the best thing for him is that he's with Pop. And then on the other side, the worst thing might be for him that he's with Pop.
Exactly.
So,
well put.
Right. It's going to be trial and error with him. I just think they're putting too much pressure on this young man to come in to save not only San Antonio, but to save the league. When I say save the league, that, this is going to be their next star that they can promote. So, and brand him.
Ken, did you see when he got dunked on?
Yeah, I saw that too. So man, look, let me say this. Folks who are, let's just say, any summer leagues they got talent too.
True.
That, and you gonna find some hidden gems, but yeah, they out to compete. They trying to get, make that money, in which I don't blame them. So their livelihood is on the line too. So
Hey, if I can dunk on Victor, hey, I'm trying to get a spot. You know what I
right,
mean? He got his spot. He getting paid.
right,
One thing I will say is nobody, although Victor performance was terrible. I'm gonna call it like it is, Ken. He had 9 points. He was 1 for what? I don't know,
no,
7 or
2 for
8 from
13 or something like that.
yeah, from the 3-point line. He was terrible. He got stripped multiple times because the speed of the game is just too much for him. He got dunked on. He hit all 4 of his free throws. I give him that. He was pushed around in the paint. If you watch more than just who was shooting, if you watch him off the ball, he was pushed around. He was lost. It was a terrible debut. But one thing everyone should thank him for, including us. We talking about basketball right now because of him. And you know how much money they made? Ken, they sold the place out. You know how much hotels made, how much restaurants made. So while they tearing him up on Twitter, Ken. Ooh, they tearing him up. But see, that's how we are in America.
Right.
You a hero
Build them
one
up
day.
And tear them down.
You a hero on Monday. You a villain on Tuesday. So Victor, my brother, get used to it, because when you play good, oh, they gonna love you. They gonna say all crazy stuff. You gonna even get more hype than you deserve. That's what happened from the start, Ken.
But more I did hype. Like a couple of assists that he had. I mean, to think about him, like I just, it's just gonna take him some time. And I just think that, as sports fans, we're putting this pressure on this young man to, like I said, to be the second coming. It's just not going to happen. It's just not.
But see, go ahead. No, go ahead.
And the thing about it is that, and I understand it's just one game. It was his first game, and, people were hyped to see the unicorn, 7'5", who's done that before. But, in time he'll get there, but I just don't see him right now making that major impact for San Antonio.
No, he needs time. He needs time to develop. He needs to develop his body. He needs to learn the game. I mean, he really. I mean, he's been in a area where he's been able to dominate. Players are slower. Players are not athletic. Players are not. See, you can't. In the European game, he can shake and bake and put that ball in front of somebody, and you can't, man, give me that. That's what happens in the NBA. And when we was trying to go to the hole, they were just saying, give me that. And they took it. And so he's, like he says, he's got to learn that speed of the game. It happens to a lot of players that come in the league. I just feel like, the media has done a poor job in not tempering the expectations of this young man. And some people already some people, like you said, we don't want to be a prisoner of the moment. It's one game, right? I'm just analyzing the game he played. I'm not saying he's not going to be great, because he might be great. Cole came in and struggled, okay?
Oh,
and we see how he turned out, right? I mean, but one thing I didn't see in him that really worries me, I didn't see no dog. I saw soft. I didn't see killer. Now, you can say it's his first game. I'm willing, the jury's still out on that kid. I'm just saying what I didn't see. I saw no dominance. I saw no, I'm 7'5", I'm going in the post, give me the ball, yank. I saw none of that. I saw I'm being pushed around. I need to pull up for a 3. And Ken, how effective do you think this young man will be if he's simply a perimeter player?
At 7'5", man, come on. There's no way in the world he should be on that perimeter. I mean, you down low and you just dunk. I mean, you 7'5", you just dunk on somebody or make a couple of moves and, you at the basket. I mean, you got the length, but I'm going to go back to something that you said as far as the dog. I think he's trying to ease his way in there as far as the game is concerned.
But see, Ken, this is where I'm going to jump in. Dogs don't ease their way. Dogs come in biting. That's what dogs do. Like Jordan came in biting, right? Cole came in with miniature bites. This dude was self-muzzle,
Yeah.
kid.
But I think he's trying to kind of work his way in there because, man, it's just too much hype for this boy. I mean, he got too much pressure on him. He got a little small shoulders right now. Shoot, all that pressure. No, man, he just, it's unfair to him, to be honest with you. It's unfair to him that, they talking about, he gonna be the next LeBron. I'm like, man, he ain't played an official game yet. You talking about he gonna be the next LeBron? I'm like, man, how you getting all this?
He gonna be the GOAT.
Right.
I'm like, could he be the greatest basketball player ever? I'm like you said, he ain't even laced him up yet. But no, I would agree that, he got a lot of pressure. But look, man, Blanchero, Paolo, he came in. People were questioning whether or not he should have been the number 1 pick last year. They were talking about your boy that went to Houston. He was the 3rd pick, Chet Holmgren. Remember they was talking about, no. When Summer League started, day 1, Paolo said, you made the right decision. He dominated Summer League. That's why he only played 3 games. They were like, nah, you done, bro. Go sit down, man. Because you a man among boys.
Right, exactly. And the thing about Victor is that I'm going to say this. He hasn't played, I'm going to say, the competition that he was playing with I'm going to say it's just not that good. I'm going to put it that way. I'm not saying that but I just think that hype, Mike, is just like, almost like a prize fight. You get the promoters, hyping it, and everybody's like, yeah, you're going to be you the next GOAT. You the next LeBron. Man, you're going to dominate. It don't work that way for some people. No. And as far as talent-wise, he okay. Mm-hmm. But there's going to be some development. All players go through it, but he ain't there yet. No. And like you said, he ain't even laced them up yet. So.
Yeah, he is not there. I'm willing to give Victor time to develop. Like you say, it's a double-edged sword dealing with Pop. And I think Pop is great at developing, foreign players that come in with talent. Not so great as developing young players. But I think, for me, I think I think he'll make a leap between his 2nd and 3rd year. I think he need a couple years.
I agree.
I really do.
Exactly.
And I think if he can stay healthy, that's my concern for him. Because the way he was moving on the court and the way he was getting thrown around on the court in Summer League, I'm really concerned. concerned.
But you got to think this way too, Mike. The guys that he's going to play against, they're trying to make a name for themselves. So I'm going against Victor. So I got to prove that, I'm just as good, or I compete with him too. So they're going to try to do everything under the sun to make, let's just say make him look bad, or, give him let's just say a hard time on the court.
But Ken, don't you think that when you have been named the next Messiah and you coming into the NBA, you don't think
target on your back.
Exactly. You don't think these boys are. You know what? You saying you being compared to the king. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, every night he gonna get served, and like you say, it's not his fault. But man, that's sports, bro. That's social media.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's how it is.
Talk to Britney Spears. She got a little eye patch right now. Pow. I'm like, what? I'm like, nah. On the side note, folks, that was not right. Now, come on, man. Everybody know who Britney is, man. Let Britney come up and take a picture. Keep it moving. Come on.
Exactly.
Man, are you serious? Like, is he that, like, you can't even get into his vicinity? I'm like, he's a rookie. He should have been honored, man. Like, wow, look, man, that's Brittany, man. Yeah,
Brittany,
let me
come
go take this
on.
picture. You know what I mean?
Right.
Boom, you know, and keep it moving. Why you gonna smack the girl? I'm like, what? Nah, that was wrong.
But not him. His little security.
And you know what? I saw they gonna, no charges gonna be this, that, and the other. But that was wrong, man. And what I didn't like, apologize.
Right, exactly.
Come on, say apologize. It don't have to be Brittany. It can be anybody that's a fan of yours that is just want to just take a picture or say hi. And I know that can be overwhelming for them. I get that. But, man, you can't be putting hands on folks come on. Especially everybody know who Britney Spears is, man. Are you serious?
I guess they don't, huh?
I'm like, come on. No, man, that was wrong, man. So he needs to come out and apologize and say, whatever happened, I'm sorry. My security detail, we didn't exactly handle that correctly. I would love to have a picture with Brittany whenever you know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
Here's some tickets courtside.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Come on. That's ridiculous, bro. Don't start nothing with nothing need to be started. That's all I'm saying, bro. I heard that. He chuckled talking about he loved the dinner, though. But I was like, no, Victor, you in America, bro. You understand? You're in a fishbowl now. But I have to talk about, do I want to say yo boy? Brandon Miller. Ken. Now, see, this is where I definitely disagree with you on Brandon Miller. And I don't disagree with you 100%, but I just feel like when I saw him play, he just didn't have that competitive level. I felt like, in other words, he ain't got no dog in him. And his summer league has been horrific. I've seen him play every game, Ken, and I am not impressed, man. He won't even shoot the ball. I'm like, why don't you? He won't even be aggressive. And I guess
it was one game.
Yeah,
he didn't even shoot in the second half.
Thank you.
I was like, man, come on, shoot.
Number 2, Ken.
Right.
So, what's your thoughts?
Well, the thing about it is that I think he's still dealing with that situation with a young lady who got shot and killed. He was involved with it. They tried to excuse him, but no, you can't excuse that. I think that's one. And he just seemed lost, Mike, on the court. Like this is his first game that he ever played. I'm like, dude, what is you doing? And then the other thing, man, I keep trying to tell you, Mike, is that, you may, this may come easy for you in this level, but once you get into the NBA, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, if I was the coach, I would say, hey, let the game come to you. He trying to force feed it. He had so many turnovers. I was just like, man, what are you doing?
Turnovers and fouls, Ken.
I was like, man, come on. This is not, this ain't the first time you done picked up a basketball. And I think maybe he's trying, let's just say, maybe he feels that, he got a lot of pressure on him too. But, when you get to this level, the pressure comes. So, he needed to just take a break. When I say take a break, just sit down and say, hey, let me just analyze what I'm doing out here. Let me, just let the game come to me. I was just like, man, I think one game he was like 5 for 17.
Terrible.
And a couple of shots were like layups and dunks. I was just like, man, come on, man. So, summer league ain't been good to him either. So right about now, no, I agree with you wholeheartedly, man. He's just trying to press it too hard. I'm like, man,
I think Ken, I think he is trying to be a player as you well. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of define what you described. To me, he seems like he's trying to be a player. He's not. He's not that dude that's gonna go out there and take over the game. To me, he's more of a 2 or a 3. He's not a 1. And what happens when you draft people like that, and especially in summer league, well, you should be that 1. You passing the ball. Well, everybody on the team, we waiting on you to be that dog. We waiting on you to go out and make things happen so we can play off of you. That he playing off everybody else. And they looking at him like, what? Like, you the number 2. So to me, I just think, again, man, man, see, this is where we get in the area of blasphemy when we bring up the GOAT, Jordan. And we start talking about his decisions, man. And, even saying something against Mike, man, is almost like I need to put my hand on the Bible.
Stop.
So I don't get struck down. But no, Mike it was a wrong decision. Man, Scoot Henderson. And see, the thing about it, Scoot comes from, okay, he was with G League Ignite, which is a pro program, which has former NBA players, and it is ran like a pro program. So when you see Scoot, man, Scoot came out like this was his game. This was his team. He was running the show. He was taking them to the hole. He was pulling up. He was doing everything. Man, he had 15 in the first half. He had 15 before he hurt his shoulder. He was going for 30 plus. Okay.
But I think the difference, Mike, and I hate to interrupt you, is that, he's kind of been through the process.
Exactly.
As far as, and I think that makes it easier for him to come in. Hey, let me work on my game. Let me work on my shooting, whatever, he's going to work on. So it's like he's been through this before, So I think maybe that for a lot of other players, who come out, maybe they should take that road also. Because, I'm going to go back to Miller. He 19, 20?
Yeah, I think he's 19.
Okay. Some 19-year-olds, some 20-year-olds, they're not ready yet.
But Scoot 19 too.
Yeah, I know. I said some are not ready.
Yeah.
And and with the situation that he had, I definitely didn't think he was ready. But, they say, hey, your agent said, hey, you'll be the top 5 pick. So go on to get that, get that first round money. That's what it come down to. But it's I didn't really see anyone out there that's going to just turn my head and say this person or player is going to have an impact on a certain team. So
no, I think Scoot Henderson, I'm still sticking by my pick, will be the rookie of the year. I think he's the most ready out of all of them in that draft. He's going to make an impact in Portland right away because he plays on that level. And again, Ken, I think the determination in these players really shouldn't happen, as we were talking about last week, till after 30-some games, because that's all they play a year. So to me, I don't think you can really start looking and evaluating these players until you start to get into the meat of the season, because like Victor was saying in that article, man, he was tired. He said, although it was just 40 minutes, he's not in shape. What happened when you got to play 82, baby? Well, you got to play 70, 75. And kid, what did I tell you? Your point on, Pop being a double-edged sword. Why did he sit out the first couple of games with San Antonio? He set him up. He should have played those first 2 games. He would have got more familiar. He would have got more comfortable. So when he came to Vegas, he'd have been in the flow.
But Mike, you got to think about this. When you said came to Vegas, right? Mm-hmm. All the promotions, man, come on. I'm trying to tell you, Mike, is that it's all about that money. And I'm not talking about just what players' contracts, but it was sold out.
Yeah.
So, this is going to be the first time you take a look at this young man. So everybody comment.
Yeah.
So as money talks.
You're right. I mean, it was beneficial for everybody else except for Victor.
Right.
Because I felt
Exactly.
like, man, I felt like this dude. There is no. Why is he not playing? He needs those. He needs those reps. He needs to be out there with. Like he said, he didn't even. He played a little 101 and worked out with some teammates. Back in San Antonio, but he didn't get no runs in. So that was his first really run on that big of a stage. And you don't have like any games up under him. I thought that was a bad move on San Antonio's part, and I think it hurt his confidence. I'm just hoping that he's got good people in his corner. Because don't pick up Twitter, Victor. Ooh, don't pick it up. Don't, if you're not used to criticism, do not go to American media today.
But I think the other thing also, Mike, with him is that he should just try to be ordinary, just one of the guys, without security or all the security and all this, the Britney thing. Come on, man. Just hey, I'm here to play ball. That's what I want to do. I'm gonna put my head down, and that's what we gonna get it in.
Bruh. Hey, when sometime in life you believe what everybody's saying about you, the hype. But
Oh yeah,
this guy needs to know who he is for himself. He needs to understand. He needs to slow the process down. Understand that, listen, I can't listen to the noise. Like you say, I just got to get to work. And I got to work on my game, work hard. Because I really think if he stays healthy, he could be, he could be on that platform with Duncan and Robinson and in years and years to come. I mean, Tim is a different thing. Tim spent 4 years. Okay, so when
right,
Tim came out, he was a machine already. Okay,
right.
the Admiral came out, the Navy, and he needed a little time too, because you remember the only reason why they got Tim is because the Admiral got hurt and they were
Right.
terrible
Yeah.
that year, right?
Yeah.
So I think Ken, he can be who he needs to be in time if he stays healthy. My concern is just for his body, man, because it did not look like he's NBA ready playing against those folks in summer league.
Hey, I'm gonna switch real quickly. I mean, we're gonna stick on the summer league, but didn't Beauchamp go through the G League?
Oh yeah, he was with G League Ignite.
Right. Okay. And I mean, I saw them last night.
What he do, Ken?
I mean, he struggled. In the first half, he struggled with a shot a little bit, but the second half, he went to work. And I mean, went to work on him. I was
He
like,
punched in, didn't he?
right, yeah. So maybe, like I said, maybe the G League is the way to go. A lot with a lot of these players.
And like Beauchamp, he was talking afterwards about the game, about how they hadn't been able to really play like this. Like, so it took everybody some time to get their rhythm, to get back in the flow. And he said he spent some time with Giannis in Greece.
Right.
He went over, man. Come on, man. He went into the lab with Giannis. And he came out puffed up. I guess he's put on like 10 or 15 pounds, 20 pounds. So he is he looked real good, man. I mean, he talked about how he wants to. He talked about how he was kind of impressed is the word I've used by the way he was able to bounce people off of him when he went to the hole. He was talking about how the extra weight and all of that is really helping him. And yeah, the Bucks look good, man. Their defense looked good. They played hard. And again, Adrian, Coach Griff, his whole thing is we're gonna be tougher. We're gonna be meaner. We're gonna be harder. We're gonna be stronger. I mean, that mentality, like he says, is going to win ball games. And so I was very impressed. We'll see what they do today.
Right.
But yeah, Beauchamp, this is Beauchamp's opportunity to take another step in his game. But Ken, realize last year, we liked how he played last year.
Oh yeah. I think he's gonna have a bigger role. And I think his contribution is going to increase more and more throughout the season. I just Hope, nothing as far as injuries, deters, his growth. So, I mean, he looks good, looks like he's been working on his game, and, it's showing up.
Exactly. Speaking of the Bucks, Malik Beasley pickup. What you think, Ken?
Man, that was steal. Seriously. I mean, they put the gun to Utah's head and said, "Here, give me him." So, I mean, a guy that can shoot, from the three, um, rebound a little bit for you. That outside presence on the three, that's going to enhance the Bucks. I just think that with that pickup, I'll say this, and this is a side note, is that I think either Connaughton or Allen may be on the way out the door to pick up, maybe a point guard, backup point guard, or maybe a starting point guard. But that's just me. That's just my saying. So don't make that breaking news.
I mean, but, no, go ahead, Ken.
I think that was a good pickup for the Bucks. A solid. So
I completely agree. Folks, if you haven't watched Malik Beasley play, just go out on YouTube and look at his highlights. When he gets going, my goodness, man. And the thing about Malik is he's not a wide up spot of you can be on him. I mean, he pulling up in your face. Man, that dude can shoot that ball. Right. And I'm with you, Ken. I think some positions in jeopardy because he got to get some time. And,
right.
And also, Ken, you remember because the Lakers didn't play him like they should have played him, so his stock was down. He was supposed to. I think he had a contract that $16 million, I guess, for over 2 or 3 years that should have been in front of him, but because of his stock that went down, so this year. That's why he took that young 1 year, because he know I got to show some things.
I'm going to show it, right.
Okay?
Yeah.
I get a championship. I got to show some things because I'm about to get paid. And I'm telling you, I agree with you, Ken, 100%. I was shocked, Ken. When I said, what? When I saw it pop, I said, Malik B went to the Bucks. I was like, man, shoot. I had to slap my Giannis bobblehead. I'm like, man.
I thought they were gonna go after Sexton more than anything, but Sexton, he just got paid a little bit too. So
yeah,
we'll see what happened was there.
And I agree with you, Ken, too. They need a backup point guard. They need a backup solid point guard that can run the show. Drew shouldn't be playing as many minutes as he's been playing. And so that's the last thing that they need, because they got the shooting. We're bringing Dre Carter back, and they got all the boys coming back. And I think Timmy's going to play a huge role.
You think so?
Oh, yes. Yes, Ken.
Okay.
Yeah, man. See, this is what people don't know about Drew Timme. Number one, okay, he a 4-year player. He's smart.
Yeah.
His game on the inside is he just needs to be developed more in his defense. But when you hear everybody talk about him that he's a solid dude, man. And he even played a really good game for them. Coach Griff talked about the deflections. I think he had like 7 deflections in the game. So he's gonna play a huge role for them, giving Brooks some rest. Being able to play in the post, give Bobby some rest. So, yeah, he's going to play some key roles. And then the draft pick that they had, is it Jackson? I forget what his last name is. The recent one that they picked up from. They moved up to get him.
Right.
Oh, man. Hustle, defense, wing defender. His shot must develop. I mean, these young players, but they have energy. They have defensive-minded players. And so for me, that's what's going to win you championships, man. You look at Denver, man. It wasn't about the superstars, man. It was about Bruce Brown. And he on the move now. And,
Indiana. I don't know why he went there, but
money.
Okay. The money,
like
right.
you said, Ken,
exactly.
It's the money. But let's shift gears. Dame Lillard, Ken. Does
Taking up.
this is a question I have to ask you, Ken. Do Portland, after Dame has made over $230 million from Portland, does Portland owe Dame anything? The right to send him to where he wants to go. Not what's best for the team, but what's best for Damon and Lillard. Does Portland owe him something?
No, they don't. I mean, this is let's make it real simple. This is, I call it show business. And the show is on the court, and the business is with the organization.
Yeah.
This is about business, and they don't have to. If he goes to Miami, they're not just going to say, here, Miami, take Dame, and we're going to take some players who we don't even know who are on the bench, but that's not going to happen. I've criticized Portland in the past as far as not bringing in players to help Dame and get them, let's just say, a little bit more competitive. I mean, they did go to the Western Conference Finals. I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yes.
So, and I criticized them when they fired he's with Milwaukee.
Yeah, he's talking about Stotts.
Stotts, thank you. And the other thing about it is that I know Philly, Boston, they've been talking about, scenarios with them too, but, then I don't know if he came out and said that or it was his agent that, we only want to go to Miami. I think as far as I'm concerned, Boston, Milwaukee, and Philly got a better chance to win the championship than Miami.
Exactly.
I'm going to say this about Miami this past year. Great, they got to the finals. I'll say this until, is that they get a break with Giannis not being in those first 3 games. Yep. I don't care what anybody said. They got a break.
Absolutely.
I don't know what happened with Boston. They lost, they beat themselves, but I'm just like, man, come on. But anyway, back to what we're talking about. I would rather go to, like I said, Philly, Boston, and Milwaukee than go to Miami. Who does Miami have? Okay, Jimmy. Jimmy got wore down throughout the playoffs. I mean, he played a lot of games with a lot of minutes. Got hurt a little bit. And then you have Bam. Overrated as far as I'm concerned. Overrated. I mean, he was dealing with Jokic, got no defense, so he had a good series.
They gave him that.
Right. So yeah, I'm like, man, Miami. I'm like, I understand you like the weather, but shoot, no. Oh right. Oh, I'm sorry. Riley and Morning, they're there and they're gonna make Spoelstra. I'm like, Spoelstra overrated too, but that's just me.
I think the whole idea of this Heat culture, again, when was the last time they won the championship? Okay, so if the litmus test is winning a championship, when was the last time they won a championship? Okay, so the culture may be good, but it's not a culture that's going to win you a championship. Furthermore, Ken, why do people think Dame Lillard, and you just talked about it, and Jimmy Butler and Bam are like this big 3? I'm just like, really? Dame is 6'1", and he don't play defense. I like Dame's game, but he is not known for locking you down on defense. Okay, and Bam is 6'9", with Jimmy 6'7", and I'm like, but you gonna give away Hero, and you might give away Duncan Robinson, and you've already lost K. Vincent, and I'm like you kid, I'm saying, like, where does the formula say this is a championship team? I do not see it, man. I don't know what Dame is thinking. And as you said, he's a better in Boston. You gonna give up Jaylen Brown? Because you can't keep them both. Jalen's up for a max contract.
300.
Thank you. You think Portland's going to, even if they say even if Brown went to Portland, they couldn't offer him that max deal. So not Boston. To be honest with you, Milwaukee is probably the best place for him because Milwaukee has not only the personnel to give back, okay, but they're in a better position to win and support Dame's weaknesses. Because let me tell you something. Boston made a terrible mistake when they got rid of Marcus Smart, and we talked about that.
You're right.
That was the heart of your team, man. And now you look dumb. You ain't got no defense. None. And if you're going to get rid of Brown is a two-way player. He play defense. You're going to bring in Dame. So you probably gaining, 5 or 6 more points, 8 points a game, but you giving up. You giving up 10 or 15 on the defensive end. So to me, Dame need to stay where he at. Teams need to this is not a formula that's going to work for anybody because you're going to give up too much to get Dame. And Kent, let me tell you where Dame made his mistake. He said, I want to go to a championship team. There's only a handful of those in the league.
Right, exactly. Not even a handful, I'll tell you the truth.
And Kent, why are they championship teams? Because they have already the roster that they want to win the championship. So you really want a championship team to disrupt their roster to bring you on so that you can try to win a championship. That doesn't make sense to me, man. And that's why I'm concerned about the back channels, man. Like, I'm concerned about the Bucks, man. Like, that shiny object. And then you go away and man, let's go and send Chris. I heard about trying to send Chris to Dallas and trying to do, man, come on, man. Then Chris come back, he got his best season ever, right? He come back healthy. You know what I mean? Like, no. Leave Dame where Dame is. And Dame Lillard, let me say something to you. We understand that all athletes are overpaid. And not just athletes. Man, you got all politicians are overpaid, right? Movie stars are overpaid, right? So we not hating on you for the money that you getting and the money that's owed to you. Not doing that. But it's all about perspective, bro. Perspective. You have made $230-some million. Do you know there are inner cities that will never generate that much wealth? And probably in their existence. And you're sitting up here saying that you only want to go here, and if they don't go here, they done did you wrong? Dang, no. This perspective, Ken, this is when we start stepping into life, man. Like this becomes like offensive because people are out here trying to struggle every day, take care of their families, this, that, and the other thing. I do not want to hear sports commentators say somehow if this man don't get his place of destination, he gets his way, somehow he's been done wrong.
Mike, the thing about it, I don't know if it was his agent said if Dame goes to a different team is that he's gonna be unhappy. I'm like, what? I'm like, man. But you know something? Privilege. That's all I'll say, Mike.
Man, Ken, you are correct, man. It is. Let's love the game, man, and not. We got to keep the game in the perspective of life, man. And listen, you have made a lot of money.
A lot.
Be thankful, right? And then you got, and Ken, another thing too, you got this young man coming up here, Scoot Henderson, who you could mentor, who you could really bring along. How about you? How about that be part of your legacy? We talked about how he could be the greatest trailblazer ever. We talked about that. Yeah. Man, listen, don't do this, Dane, because I'm telling you, this is a bad look. And when I hear Kendrick Perkins on NBA talking about, they need to do Dame right. Dame been
loyal.
Ken, they done gave the man $230 million. Listen, I can tell you like this. You can give me $230 million, kick me out the door. You can talk about me. You can, hey, listen. You can tell me I'm no longer welcome on the premises. You can do everything to me for 230. Come on, stop it, Dame. No, they can't. That these players beginning to live in a bubble, man, that they don't understand.
They already in that bubble, and they don't want to come out of it. And when I heard that, it's like he'll be unhappy if it's not with Miami. I'm like, man, stop. I mean, I understand. I mean, I get it. That players will force their way out of organization, but man, I'm like, stop. Stop hyping yourself up to that much. I mean, I just and then you want to go to Miami. I mean, that big three. Come on. It's not working for me, but hey, this is what we do now. This is 2023.
This is exactly what we do, man. And in closing, Ken, so Kyrie was shopping himself around, and he had met with the Suns, I guess, and he ended up taking a deal back in Dallas. So what was your thoughts on Kyrie, trying to up his stock?
There was no suitors for him. I mean, nobody wanted to be bothered with all that baggage and everything else with Kyrie. They seen his his history as far as left Cleveland, left Boston, left Brooklyn. So I think he got a 3-year deal for about 100 and something like over 100.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just that his best money wise, his best place was going back to Dallas. And I just think that, for him, let's just say Dallas to do a sign and trade, teams were wanted too much. And the thing about it, they don't have any depth right now. So Kyrie, he did the right thing by signing with Dallas, and you play with Luka and see what happens. And now you got find a way. That's what it comes down to, and then you can play with Grant Williams. He got traded or signed and trade with. I saw that coming, but I just don't think Dallas needs to focus really more on defense. Than they got Luka and Kyrie, so they need to share the ball better, amongst themselves. So Dallas is going to be Dallas. It's just going to be the show.
Yeah, he signed Ken a $126 million deal.
Okay.
120 is guaranteed, a 3-year. $6 million in incentives related to games played and team success. So he could make up. He can make up to what, 132 million. Yeah, for 6 years if he play. I'm sure there's he got to play so many games, he get a little bonus. That it's a shame when I never worked at a job where they say, hey, look, Michael, if you can come in 80% of the time, we gonna give you a little bonus. Usually they say you come in 80% of the time, we gonna fire you. But that's why I say, man, they living in a bubble, man. I think Dallas got better, man. I think they got some defense. I don't know if two ball dominant people like Luka and Kyrie can coexist. I just don't. They're mainly the same player to me, but they're different body types. But they're both drive to the hole. They're gonna shoot their threes. They're both 1-on-1 experts. I just don't see where there's so much of a distinct difference that it works. Right? Usually two players that are the same, one sits on the bench and one comes off. They don't go out there and run together. So I just don't know if that's ever really going to click for them. The same problem. I know we're about to close up, but the same problem I have with Phoenix. I just think there's too much similarity between those three players that you can't. That's not winning chemistry. Will they win a lot of games? Yes. Will they win the most important games? No. So Ken, we got Summer League going on. The Bucks play again tonight. I don't know if San Antonio, they might be tonight or tomorrow, but we'll see.
Tomorrow.
Okay, we'll see if Wemby's gonna come back out and
bounce back.
Ken,
He
I don't
will.
know, man. I don't know, Ken, because Charlotte is one of the weakest teams. You do know that, right?
Yeah,
I mean, their summer league team is not that good, so he ain't went against the best talent yet in the summer league. So I'm hoping that he'll get more, more fluid but we'll. I just ain't got a whole lot of hope for him right now. I got hope for him over the long haul, but right now, man, I'm not knocking down, trying to get home to watch the game.
Nah, it's summer league.
in summer league, exactly, folks. Well, man, I'm telling you, Ken, it's been a great show, brother, and we got a lot of stuff going on in the NBA, and as we always say, in a divided world, the love of sports unites us. Let us strive for this unity in our everyday life. Remember, this is why they play the game.